So, I used to upload a lot of Rainbow Six Siege videos here in the channel because, well, I'm a fan of the Rainbow Six games. As a matter of fact, I grew up playing games like Rainbow Six Vegas 1 and 2. But I also grew up reading hentais and doujinshis, so in this video, why not have the best of both worlds where I talk about porn and video games in one video. So today I'll be taking a look at an erotic crossover fanfiction doujinshi called Rainbow Six, GirlsFrontline. This doujinshi is a crossover of characters from Rainbow Six Siege and GirlsFrontline. Siege doesn't really need an introduction, but for those of you who don't know what GirlsFrontline is, it's a mobile game that originated from China. You take control of a variety of android waifus that carry real-world firearms, and they range from jailbait to ara-ara mommy-dommy milky wilkies. This game also amassed a big following, especially in Asia, and has even spawned some animated shorts. Ever since year 2 of Siege, I've seen some fanart of Rainbow Six operators together with the dolls of GirlsFrontline, most notably Fuse alongside AK-12, and I guess this doujin brings those fanarts to life. So, there are 2 volumes. The first one centers around Fuse and AK-12, while the second one focuses on Jaeger and HK-416. There's not really much to talk about other than the inside jokes and the hilarious sex scenes, but even if this is all that this doujin has to offer, it was still a very enjoyable read, especially if you're a long-time Siege player. As for the plot, just like my sex life, the story is almost non-existent because the emphasis of the doujins is more on telling jokes rather than presenting a compelling narrative, and that's perfectly fine for me, but I'll get to the rest of that later. The people who made this doujin has clearly played a lot of Siege. They know all of the inside jokes of the community, and we even get callbacks like when Ash didn't have a hitbox on her head, and many more. Now let's go over the first volume. The story begins with Team Rainbow forming an alliance with the Russian IOP in order to deal with terrorist threats more swiftly. They assign T-dolls to specific Rainbow Six operatives as their commanding officers, and they are expected to cooperate so that they'll be ready for any situational threat. The doujin then transitions to AK-12 alongside other Rainbow operatives where they are dealing with a hostage situation. AK-12's commanding officer is Fuse, and he tells her that the hostage is the key of this mission, and she shouldn't do anything reckless. But as soon as he says that, he suddenly plants a cluster charge and decides to blow up the area instead. That's a very Russian way of rescuing the hostage if you ask me. Also, why is Ying depicted as a JoJo character? Anyway, as the cluster bombs goes off, we see AK-12 getting really turned on by the explosions for some reason. Ying then angrily knocks out Fuse by smacking her LMG to Fuse's face for being a dumbass. After a while, Fuse wakes up and is seen his head resting on top of AK-12's lap. She expresses that she was inspired by his heroic actions that he did earlier, and she wanted to show her gratitude somehow. She also said that the excitement of witnessing his heroic performance resulted in damaging her module for controlling her emotions. How do they fix this? By giving Fuse a nice tit fuck, of course. And obviously that led to sex, and the rest is up for you to see. Let's just say the ending for this volume is Fuse letting out a nice batch of his baby batter inside AK-12's reproductive gun barrel, if that makes any sense for you. But I think you catch my drift. The next volume revolves around Jaeger and HK-416. The volume begins by HK-416 talking to Jaeger, her commanding officer. She confidently tells him to sit back and watch her deal with the attackers all by herself. During the prep phase, Legion decides to give her some alcohol before the match starts to calm her nerves. And as soon as the round begins, she immediately breaks down barricades and proceeds to spawn peek like an old school Jaeger main. She misses all her shots for some reason, probably a copper fob. Fortunately, Jaeger was able to save her from Glaz's sniper fire. He retaliates by putting a bullet between Glaz's eyes, but then suddenly Ash with a small head hitbox appeared and starts firing back while taunting Jaeger that he shouldn't peek with that giant head of his. Jaeger responds saying he doesn't need an ACOG to blow her brains out. Both of them pulled the trigger, but Jaeger was only able to shoot Ash's hat off, while she shot the headset part of Jaeger's helmet, which fatally injures him. This was a callback to when the headset was also a part of the hitbox of GSG-9 operators, in case you don't know. Anyway, Jaeger was dragged away for his wounds to be treated, and HK-416 apologized for her recklessness, but Jaeger assured her that it's not her fault. He told her that she should take this as a learning experience and that they should get back into the fight. HK-416 protested and reminded Jaeger that he is in no condition to fight. Her solution for a rapid recovery is to use her reproductive module. So yeah, you all know where this is going. HK-416 then goes down on her knees and starts gobbling on Jaeger's cock as if if she's mad for that penis. Gotta admit though, these blowjob scenes aren't perfect, but she sure is sucking on that thing as if it's delicious. No homo intended. Feeling unsatisfied after the deep throat service, Jaeger then proceeds to blitzkrieg that pussy like he's invading Western Europe. And the ending for this one involves a nice pie of cream. So yeah, that is Rainbow Sex GirlsFrontline. Who knew that it was possible to fuck guns in this world, am I right? The 2 volumes were short and sweet. I guess the only negative thing I can say is that there aren't more doujins like this, and I wish there were more sex scenes between the T-dolls and Rainbow Six operators. I guess my other issue would be is that there's not enough crazy sex positions. Both volumes always start off with fellatio, then follows up with either doggy style or missionary. You know, some variety would be nice, like, I don't know, cunnilingus, maybe some reverse cowgirl, 69, maybe some menage a trois action, face off, a little bit of gee whiz, magic mountain, or I don't know, maybe a nice pretzel dip. But even if it lacks some sexy elements, can you still nut to it? Yeah, I'll be honest. You're probably gonna have to actually try to get a good nut from this one. My cock was soft as a pillow because how funny the doujinshi is, but hey, if you put your mind to it, you can nut to it. And now we've reached the end of the video. If there are some funny erotic doujinshis you'd like to share, let me know down below so we can laugh to it together. And before I sign off, yes, I do actually check out your recommendations like from the previous doujin that I've covered. So far the recommendations are pretty good. I'm glad my audience has good taste. Anyway, I won't take any more of your time. Thanks again for watching until the very end. Feel free to check out my channel for more content, and I hope I earn your sub. Thanks again for watching, and as always, this is Dre, and I'll see you when I see you. Take care.
Play, ladies.